Good morning, whatever time of the day it is. When you watch this, it's all good. It doesn't matter. Today's reading is called Forgiveness for You. I'm going to do the reading and then I'll tell you a little bit about the person who wrote it. How's that? So we're going to start with the reading. Forgiveness for You. First quote is from the late great Dr. Wayne Dyer in Manifest Your Destiny. Forgiveness means that you will fill yourself with love and you radiate that love outward and refuse to hang on to the venom or hatred that caused the wounds. Forgiveness is a spiritual act of love for yourself and it sends a message to everyone. And Ernest Holmes says, too often our minds are so hardened because of the mistakes that we've made that we do not take the time to forgive ourselves and others and start over again. And this is from our writer. It's actually Reverend Dr. Kathleen Lenover. And I'll say a bit about her afterwards, as I said. She says, I realize that true forgiveness is an internal choice. It's not letting go of something outside of myself. I found this truth profoundly liberating. And I found the call to forgive irritating. Really? That eliminates my victimization, justifications, and feeling sorry for myself. Why must I be so responsible for everything, including my internal weather? Taking a deep breath, I shake my head and smile, realizing my mental age while writing that last paragraph hovers around 12. Those adolescent feelings emerge to remind me of who I have become. At age 72, and this was back in 2017, I have a history of things for which I need to be forgiven. Selfishness in relationships, criticalness in thought and deed, laziness in the face of challenges. We may not have been a perfect child, perfect parent, perfect spouse, perfect friend, or a perfect boss. We were not meant to be. We were meant to experience life as a cycle of profound growth opportunity, ever expanding our ability to love and to be loved. We may be surrounded by people with expectations of us that we may internalize. Usually, we add our own list of inadequacies to the mix. This may be powerfully motivating, and yet we get to choose. We have lots of opportunities to forgive ourselves for self-pity, being critical, allowing ourselves to be abandoned, and working too hard. This is our growth opportunity, and we embrace it with gusto. We're not here to be perfect. We're here to legitimately love and forgive ourselves. And as I said, that was Reverend Dr. Kathleen Lenover, and it was published in December of 2017. The daily guides for that month she wrote were, the cover to the daily guides, not the magazine, was, look within, be still. And then there was a quote here from the Buddha. Free from fear and attachment, know the sweet joy of the way. Free from fear and attachment, know the sweet joy of the way. And of course, one of the prime messages of Buddhism is attachment, because the Buddhists believe that when we are attached to anything, person, thing, whatever, that is the root cause of suffering. This was the Buddha's great discovery. At least this is what he believed, that the cause of all human suffering was attachment to something or someone. And that when we let go of that attachment, suffering ceases. And if you think about it, it's logical, right? Because if you are really attached, say, to a car and it gets in an accident, somebody hits it and it gets totaled, then you suffer. If you lose a person, a friend, you suffer. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't keep those attachments, but what I'm saying is that we need to be consciously aware of what we're doing. I mean, I think if you give up all attachments to people and things, then it's not my way of expressing life. Because, yes, I'm attached to people. I'm attached to our pets. When we've lost pets in the past, I've been sorrowful. And I think, personally, I think that's part of the human experience. So I'm not even sure the Buddha was saying that we should never suffer because of loss, but he said, if you can get rid of all attachment, you can get rid of all suffering. So I'm not a Buddhist, so I don't want to comment on that. She's had quite a good long history, as you can see. She's about 79 years old right now. Like me, she was raised Catholic. I didn't join the Sisters of Charity of Cincinnati, primarily for two reasons. I decided not to become a minister, priest in the Catholic faith, and I certainly wouldn't have joined a convent as a nun because I was a guy. She, however, got drawn. She loved the community she was in, but she got drawn to teachings of unity, Unitarianism, and then science of mind. And she serves as an advisor. She has served for 31 years, well, 38 now, if she's still doing it, helping people and their families as an advisor. So, and there's a little bit more. And she actually, I guess, started attending Mile High Church. And when was that? I didn't see it here. Oh, doesn't say, but she started joining Mile High Church, became a practitioner, then a minister. 7 years ago, so I'm not quite sure what she's doing right now. But that's really the whole message. I gratefully experience the cycles of life and do so with love and forgiveness, first for myself. And I think, as I've hammered home many, many times, we need to forgive ourselves before we can forgive anybody else. If you don't forgive yourself, I think it's impossible to forgive other people. You may say you forgive them, and you may appear to forgive them, but I think deep down inside, if you've got that unforgiveness within you of yourself, it's really hard to forgive somebody else. Just like you cannot love anyone, including the divine, unless you have found how to love yourself first, because you need that strong foundation. So the message today is forgiveness is important. But it begins at home. It begins with each one of us, and then it moves out from there. And when we learn to forgive, we start freeing ourselves. Because let's face it, if you do not forgive somebody and you hold on to that hatred, the grudge, whatever it is, guess who you're hurting? You're not hurting the other person primarily, you're hurting yourself. So it's a good thing to let it go. That's really all I got. For some reason, I need to get some water. So take care. Remember Reverend Lisa tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, and I'll be back tomorrow. And I really will read Murphy, the Human Whisperer, before the end of the month. I'll see when it kind of fits in with the readings, and then I'll read it. So until next time, namaste. Take care of yourselves. Forgive yourselves. It's the way to go.